Salt is good. They've lied to us through the years. Today, I'll be exposing the scam behind the salt scare and who benefits from it. All in this episode. Welcome to Defense with Chara. What if I told you that everything you've been told about salt needs to be questioned? Because they say salt causes heart attack. Yet in hospital, they use salt water drip to save life every day. So if salt is so dangerous, why is it then used as medicine? I want you to get something. Salt is not poison. Salt is essential. Your body needs salt to fire nutrients, to fire neurons, to balance fluid, to contract muscles, to carry nutrients into your cells. What I'm saying in a nutshell is without salt in your body literally starts shutting down. So if salt is such an essential to us and to our body, why is it then demonized? Because if you go to the hospital, the IV bag, as is the saline in the hospital, actually contains salt and water. That's what we have in the IV bags. And it is used for nearly every patient in the hospital for dehydration, for shock, for surgery, for low blood pressure. So why is salt good enough to revive the dying? Yet it's not good enough for the living to consume. It all started in the 1960s, 1970s, where a scientist named Lewis Dow did a study, something I would call a flawed research on rats. And the media, the public group, they all ran with this. They come on air, salt is now the new tobacco, everybody run with it, salt is bad, salt is terrible. But actually, recent study shows that very low sodium in the body raises the risk of death, not lower it. It actually raises the risk of death. Now, let me tell you why I called the research done on Lewis Dow flawed. Here is the reason. I'm just going to read a summary. I'm quoting from an article that I saw online, right? And this article is published in March 2023. Just a quick summary on the research done by Lewis Dow. He said I'm quoting, there is some common consensus when we start actually avoiding salt. A research study published by Lewis Dow started the sodium myth, and the entire salt scare movement in the 1960s. Now, the entire basis of this study was that massive doses of sodium can cause high blood pressure and overall blood volume. But for the sake of clarity, I'm still quoting, the amount of sodium administered in this research was 150 times the regular human equivalent dose. And guess what? This was administered on rats 150 times more than we humans consume. What the study completely ignored was the fact that realistically, people consume a lot less sodium on a daily basis, right? And also that people are actually active beings, so they end up losing the sodium, along the day. In fact, the CDC found in a study on a dietary guideline for Americans for 2020 to 2025, they find that around 3,400 milligram of sodium. So we are not even close to the huge doses that Dahl was administering to these rats. This is a quote, there is evidence that the sodium myth and the subsequent salt scare has both directly and indirectly led people to developing sodium deficiency over time. This is even more concerning for athletes and general active people like me, who lose sodium and mineral content on a regular basis. So this is like a quick summary of this study done, and this is the study that we are basing our whole existence on. The study that there's a high possibility of it being flawed. This is the study where all the salt scare literally came out from. Now, I want to quickly point out something here. Who benefits from this salt scare? The first people, of course, is the pharmaceutical companies. Because more salt scare actually result to more people on blood pressure meds. Oh, because of salt, they are going to buy drugs. Pharmaceutical people are gaining. And I saw something online, saw information online that um the IV bags in the hospital are actually made for about like $2 to $3. That's how, because it's just salt and water, right? But yet when they administer it to the people in the hospital, it's almost close to $1,000. Have you seen the profit range? It's alarming. It's alarming. Another group that gains from this salt scare is the processed food. Now they've replaced salt with artificial stuff, chemicals that we consume on a regular basis that turns out in the long run they become detrimental to our health. And yet again, another group that benefit from this salt scare is the sickness economy. Because more people nutrient starve equals to more dependence on doctors, on hospitals, on drugs. Right. So I'm going to tell you today that salt is not the problem. Mm-mm. Salt is not the problem. In fact, salt is good. But like everything good, it ought to be consumed in moderation. And don't say, oh yes, that's where the doctor come in. No, you already have the salt detector in your body. Your body can literally tell you when the salt is enough and when it needs more. And how does it do that? How does the body measure your salt intake? You have it. Guess what this detector is? It is your tongue. If it tastes salty, it's probably too salty for your body. If it doesn't, your body probably need it. So you don't have to depend on the medical or the health group, I don't want to call names, to tell you take this milligrams every day, take this. You don't need that. And I'm not going to undermine the fact that we have people that are oversensitive to salt. And this is not normal. This is not normal in any way. This can be as a result of some underlying health issues. And okay, we get that. But for you to run to the whole general population and start telling them you have to take this amount of salt, this amount of salt in today, daily, it's not necessary. It's not. We have a salt detector. And you know yourself, if a food or a meal is probably too salty, you won't eat it. I know that. I've been there. There's nothing that's going to make me go to that. I can't finish that meal because it's too salty. Because your salt detector is telling you nope, 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 nope. And when you probably need salt, you'll be like, I think I need more salt on this. Your body, nature already gets it right. Your body gets it right. It's okay. So what I'm gonna say is that the bigger picture here is that this can be about control through misinformation. Let's just say, or maybe it's just a big misunderstanding. Let's just take it as that, right? So, yeah, they made you fierce, fat. They made then salt. Why they keep pushing pills, pushing meds. But it's okay. Even in movies, you see people, I'm always on my med, I need to take my med. It's okay, it's good. But natural salt that your body needs is now demonized. Guys, think about it. Just think about it. Your body knows better, and your body was designed for salt. And your body's going to tell you if it's okay or not using your tongue, your salt detector. I'll conclude with this. They demonize what your body needs, right? And then they have customers for life. They demonize what your body needs. They have customers for life. Salt is not the enemy, guys. Salt is not the enemy. The enemy, ignorance, deception, might just be the enemy. Control. The terrible things happening in this world just makes you want to question everything. So know this and know peace. Thank you for listening. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share to your family group, share to people, let them know that salt is not the enemy. Bye.